Assalamu alaikum and welcome to News at 10. I'm Shongita Ahmed with you. You've just heard the headlines and now on to the rest of the news. Introductory speech at the Awami League-led 14-party alliance meeting held at Ganobhavan this evening. The Prime Minister said that grenade attackers, 10 trucks, arms smugglers and corrupts are taking advantage of digital Bangladesh and are threatening to oust the government every day from abroad. There will be no welfare of the people for this country without the pro-liberation forces in power, she said. Sheikh Hasina said that as long as the people are by their side, she does not care about those threats. She urged all pro-liberation forces to be more well-organized, to go to the people to imbue them with the spirit of the liberation war.
আমরা যারা স্বাধীনতা সপক্ষ শক্তি আমাদেরকে আরো সুসংগঠিত হয়ে আমাদের মানুষের কাছে যে মানুষকে এই চেতনায় ফিরে আনতে হবে। মুক্তিযুদ্ধের সপক্ষ শক্তি ছাড়া দেশের মানুষের কোনো কল্যাণ হবে না। যতক্ষণ জনগণ আছে আমাদের সাথে ওটা আমি কেয়ার করি না, কিন্তু জ্বালাও পোড়া অগ্নিসংযোগ এইগুলি যেন না করতে পারে, এটা যারা করবে তাদের কোনো ছাড় নাই। যতই মুরব্বী ধরুক আর যাই ধরুক এদেরকে আমরা ছাড়বো না। পরিষ্কার কথা, মানুষের ক্ষতি যারা করবে তাদের বিরুদ্ধে ব্যবস্থা আমাদের অব্যাহত থাকবে। বাংলাদেশ যে এগিয়ে যাচ্ছে আর জন্য কেউ পিছিয়ে না নিতে পারে, এটাই সবচেয়ে বড় কথা, এবং পারবেও না, কারণ জনগণই আমাদের শক্তি।
Awami League General Secretary and Road Transport and Bridges Minister Obaidul Qadir said investigations will make clear if the Member of Parliament from Jinaidaho 4 constituency killed in India was involved in any misdeed. There is no place for offenders in the Awami League, he added. Obaidul Qadir said this at a meeting of the newly formed Youth and Sports Subcommittee of Awami League today. The function was organized at the Dhaka District Awami League office.
সংসদ সদস্য কলকাতায় মারা গেছে, তাকে হত্যা করা হয়েছে। ইনভেস্টিগেশন কমপ্লিট হওয়ার আগে আমরা তো বলতে পারছি। তবে আওয়ামী লীগের সে কি ছিল সেটা বড় কথা। সে যে এলাকার প্রতিনিধিত্ব করে সে এলাকায় গিয়ে দেখব, তার জন্য শোকার্ত মানুষের, তো তাকে আমরা তৃতীয়বারও নমিনেশন দিয়েছি তার জনপ্রিয়তার জন্য। এখন সে ভেতরে কোনো অপকর্ম করে কিনা এইসব যখনই প্রমাণিত হয়, প্রধানমন্ত্রী কিন্তু জিরো টলারেন্স। কোনো অন্যায়কারী অপরাধী দলের লোক হলেও তিনি ছাড় দেবেন, এটা হলো সত্য, কিন্তু এটা তো প্রমাণ হতে।
The Awami League General Secretary said Ziaur Rahman became a member of the Bakshal through an earnest appeal.
আজকে ছাত্রলীগ যুবলীগ নাকি অর্থ পাচার করে। অর্থ পাচারের জন্য আপনারা বাংলাদেশে প্রতিষ্ঠিত অপরাধী, সুপরিচিত অপরাধী। অর্থ পাচার সিঙ্গাপুরে কে করেছে, আমেরিকাতে কে করেছে? সে পাচারকারী তারেক রহমান এবং কোকো, এই দুজনের যে পাচার করা অর্থ, সেটা তো একটা অংশ সিঙ্গাপুর থেকে উদ্ধার করা হয়েছে। এখন নিজেরা যে অপরাধে অপরাধী, সেই অপরাধের দায় ছাত্রলীগ যুবলীগের উপর অবলীলায় চাপাতে যাওয়া, এটা যে কত বড় মিথ্যাচার আর অপপ্রচার এরা করতে পারে।
Chairman of the Youth and Sports Subcommittee, Muzaffar Hussain Boltur, presided over the function. Co-chairman of the subcommittee, Harunur Rashid, member secretary of the committee and whip, Mashrafi bin Murtaza, State Minister for Cultural Affairs, Nahid Izahar Khan, and members of the subcommittee were present. As many as 20 industries were given President's Industry Development Award 2021 for their outstanding role in the industrial sector. Industries Minister Nurul Majid Mahmood Humayun handed over the crests and certificates at a function at the Osmani Memorial Auditorium in the capital today. The awards were given in 6 categories at the initiative of the Industries Ministry. A total of 6 awards went to big industries, 3 went to medium industries, while small industries got 4. Micro industries got 3 awards, cottage industries got 3, and 1 award went to high-tech industry. Ecotex Limited, Pran Dairy and Mir Akhtar Hussain Limited jointly became first in the big industries category. Bengal Poly and Paper Sac became first in the medium industries category. In small industries category, the Reliable Builders and Concord Entertainment Company Limited jointly became first. In micro industries category, Fariha Green Mood Leathers Limited became first. In cottage industries category, Blue Star Agro Product and Industries became first. BIS Solutions Limited got the award in high-tech industries category. Industries Minister Nurul Majid Mahmood Humayun said the industrial sector of the country registered significant progress on account of the current government's timely planning and policies. Agriculture Minister Dr. Mohammad Abdul Shahid and FBCCI President Mahbubul Alam spoke as special guests. Senior Secretary of the Industries Ministry, Jakia Sultana, presided over the function. Foreign Minister and Awami League Joint General Secretary Dr. Hassan Mahmood said there is no alternative to protecting rivers to ensure environmental balance. He said this at a preparatory meeting of the River Conference, demanding announcement of National River Day on May 23 at the Jatiyo Press Club today. The Foreign Minister stressed on the need for regional river management comprising of the Ganga, Brahmaputra, Meghna basins. Dr. Hassan Mahmood also said the expired river vessels are to be blamed for accidents in the water. He said the initiatives of Nongor can play an important role in this case.
দেশ একটি নদীমাতৃক দেশ। দেহের মধ্যে শিরা উপশিরাগুলো যেই ভূমিকা পালন করে, আমাদের দেশের ক্ষেত্রে নদীগুলো হচ্ছে দেশের শিরা উপশিরা। নদী যদি শুকিয়ে যায়, সেখানে পানির স্বাভাবিক প্রবাহ না থাকে, কিংবা নদী দূষিত হয়ে পড়ে, নদী দখল হয়, কিংবা নদীতে প্রতিবন্ধকতা তৈরি করা হয়, তাহলে দেহের ক্ষেত্রে শিরা উপশিরার ক্ষেত্রে যেটি ঘটে, সেটির যে প্রভাব নদীর ক্ষেত্রে, সেই প্রভাবটা দেশের উপর পড়ে। নদী শুকিয়ে যাওয়ার পিছনে কারণ হচ্ছে বিভিন্ন জায়গায় রাবার ড্যাম তৈরি করা হয়েছে, নদীতে প্রতিবন্ধকতা তৈরি হয়েছে উজানে, আর ডিফরেস্টেশন। এটি সারা দেশের চিত্র। আর শহর অঞ্চলে যে নদী ক্ষমতাবানরা সেখানে নদী দখল করে। আমাদের সরকার গঠন করার পর মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী বুড়িগঙ্গার 2 পারে পার বাধাই করা, ওয়াকওয়ে নির্মাণ করার উদ্যোগ নিয়েছে। না হয় এতদিনে বুড়িগঙ্গা কোথায় গিয়ে দাঁড়াতো, এরপরও মাঝে মধ্যে দখল হয়, তবে আগের তুলনায় সেটি কম, এবং গুড়িয়ে দেওয়া হয় অনেক স্থাপনা, সেই তুলনায় অনেক কম।
Chairman of the organization, Shumon Shams, presided over the function. Member of Parliament, Aulad Hussain, advisor of the Daily Shomokal, Abu Said Khan, among others, spoke. State Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Muhammad Ali Arafat, said the government is working to create a healthy environment for practice of professional journalism. He said this while addressing a view exchange meeting at the Secretariat today. Bangladesh Secretariat Reporters Forum, BSRF, organized the function. The State Minister said if practice of bad journalism rises in guise of freedom of mass media, journalists are affected more. He also urged to play a more responsible role while publishing news to uphold the interest of the country.
আমরা চেষ্টা করি 17 কোটি মানুষের এই দেশে সবকিছু দেখার, বোঝার, জানার, কোথাও ব্যর্থতা বিচ্যুতি থাকলে আমরা এটাকে শুধরে নেওয়ার চেষ্টা করি, কিন্তু সব ক্ষেত্রে আমরা পারি না। তো সরকারের চোখ হয়ে কাজ করে গণমাধ্যম। কাজে সরকারের যদি ব্যর্থতা বিচ্যুতি তুলে ধরা হয়, সেটা তো খুবই ভালো কথা, এটাকে আমরা সবসময় স্বাগত জানাবো। সকল ধরনের গঠনমূলক সমালোচনা, এ ব্যাপারে আপনারা নিশ্চিত থাকেন। কিন্তু অসত্য তথ্য এবং বিভ্রান্তিমূলক তথ্যের উপর ভিত্তি করে যদি কোনো হেডলাইন হয়, নিউজ হয়, তখন আমাদের বুঝতে হবে এটি আসলে সরকার বা জনগণের মঙ্গলের জন্য হয়নি, এটি হয়তো কোনো গোষ্ঠী স্বার্থ, ব্যক্তি স্বার্থ রক্ষার জন্য হয়েছে। জননেত্রী শেখ হাসিনা, বঙ্গবন্ধু কন্যা শেখ হাসিনা, মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রীর সরকার গণমাধ্যমের পেশাদারিত্বকে স্বাগত জানায়, তার সমালোচনাকে স্বাগত জানান এবং তার নির্দেশনা মতে আমরা কাজ করব।
BSRF President Fasiuddin Mahatab presided over the function. General Secretary of the organization Masoodul Haq moderated the function. Thousands have marched in Iran for the final day of funeral rites for President Ibrahim Raisi, who died in a helicopter crash earlier this week. Raisi died on Sunday alongside his foreign minister and 6 others when their helicopter crashed in the country's mountainous northwest while returning from a dam inauguration. Thousands of people holding placards of Raisi and waving flags marched in the eastern city of Birjand on Thursday morning to bid him farewell. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who announced 5 days of mourning for those who died in the crash, led the prayers in Tehran on Wednesday for Raisi's funeral. Raisi will be laid to rest at the holy shrine of Imam Reza, a mausoleum in the city of Mashhad, where the ultra-conservative president was born. He will become the first top politician in the country to be buried at the shrine, representing a significant honor for the former leader. Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdullahian will also be buried on Thursday at the shrine of Shah Abdulazim in the town of Shaharereh. Meanwhile, Bangladesh observed one-day state mourning over the death of Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi. To mark the occasion, the national flag was hoisted at half-mast at all government, semi-government and autonomous institutions, education institutions, all government and private buildings and Bangladesh missions abroad. Additionally, special prayers were held in all mosques and other religious establishments across the country for the peace of the departed souls. The Israeli army intensified its assault on Rafah as the International Court of Justice says it will rule on Friday on a request by South Africa to order Israel to implement a ceasefire in Gaza, including the southern city. Dozens of Palestinians were killed in pre-dawn air attacks on Gaza City. The deadliest strike killed 16 people, including 10 children. In the city's Daraj neighborhood, according to Gaza's civil defense. A separate Israeli attack on a house in central Gaza's Nusayrat camp killed 8 more people. Israeli forces withdrew from Jenin after a 2-day raid that killed 12 Palestinians, including 4 children. At least 35,709 Palestinians killed and 80,000 wounded in Israeli attacks on Gaza since October 7, 2023. Ukraine's east sees fierce battles with Russia pressing on Kharkiv and Donetsk. Reports say Russian strikes on the eastern Ukraine city of Kharkiv killed at least 7 people, according to the regional governor, Sineyubov. Against a backdrop of fierce fighting, Putin will hold wide-ranging talks with his Belarusian counterpart, Alexander Lukashenko, in Minsk today and tomorrow, the Kremlin says. Meanwhile, Russia arrests Vadim Sharamarin, deputy head of Russia's general staff, over suspicion of large-scale bribe-taking, according to Russian state news agencies. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has vowed to fight for every vote as he called for an early UK general election for Thursday, 4th July. The Prime Minister made the announcement in a rain-soaked speech outside 10 Downing Street as he bids to win a 5th term in office for the Conservatives. The surprise move overturned expectations of an autumn poll which might have given the Tories a better chance of closing the gap with Labour. Labour has been posting large leads in national opinion polls and has insisted that it has a fully organised campaign ready to go. Parliament will now be suspended on Friday before it is formally shut down on Thursday next week ahead of an official 5-week election campaign. It means there are only 2 days to pass any outstanding legislation, a move which will mean some of the government's measures will have to be abandoned. China has launched 2 days of large-scale military drills surrounding Taiwan in what it called punishment for so-called separatist attacks, days after the self-ruling island swore in a newly democratically elected leader who called on Beijing to cease its intimidation tactics. As part of the drills, dozens of Chinese fighter jets carrying live ammunition conducted mock strikes against high-value military targets of the enemy, alongside destroyers, frigates and missile speedboats, according to China's state broadcaster CCTV. The exercises, which started early on Thursday and will encircle Taiwan, pose a first real test for the newly elected Lai Ching-te as he attempts to manage relations with the island's powerful authoritarian neighbor. China's ruling Communist Party says Taiwan is part of its territory despite never having controlled it, and has vowed to take the island by force if necessary. State Minister for Shipping Khaled Mahmood Chaudhry said on occasion of the upcoming Holy Eid-ul-Azha, bulkhead traffic will be closed from 10 days from June 13 to 23 to ensure the safety of the Eid journey on the river. He was talking to reporters after a meeting regarding smooth, orderly and safe navigation and safety of passengers on the river at the Secretariat today. It was also decided that ferries won't carry normal trucks and covered vans for the 7 days, including 3 days before Eid and 3 days after Eid, but trucks carrying animals and perishable goods will be ferried as usual. Senior Secretary of the Ministry of Shipping, Mohammad Mustafa Kamal, along with senior officials of the ministry were present. The State Minister said on the occasion of Eid, the Naval Police will have special security measures to ensure the safety of Eid journey by sea. Intelligence activities will be increased at all launch terminals, he added. And now news on weather. The low-pressure area over Southwest Bay and adjoining West Central Bay moved slightly northeastwards, intensified into a well-marked low over West Central Bay and adjoining Southwest Bay. Met Office said it is likely to intensify further. Meanwhile, Met Office in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow said rain or thundershowers accompanied by temporary gusty or squally wind is likely to occur at 1 or 2 places over Khulna, Borishal, Chattogram and Sylhet divisions. Night and day temperature may rise slightly over the country, said Met Office. Now news on sports. They are now batting against Bangladesh in the second T20 of 3-match series in Texas. The USA scored 94 runs for 2 wickets in 14 overs when reports last came in. Earlier, Bangladesh won the toss and sent the host to bat first. Bangladesh is trailing by 1-0 in the series. And before we end, the headlines once again. Only pro-liberal